Hello everyone, and welcome to the It's Funny to Tears channel. Today, I've got a story that's so wild, you'll wonder how I'm still here to tell it. It all started on a Monday morning. You know the kind? The sky is grey, your motivation is at absolute zero, and the only thing that can possibly save the day is a strong cup of coffee. I stumbled into the kitchen, my eyes barely open, and approached my trusty old coffee machine. Let's call him Old Faithful. Old Faithful had been with me for years. He'd seen me through college exams, late night work sessions, and countless lazy Sundays. He was more than a machine. He was a friend. But on this particular Monday, Old Faithful seemed different. He was making strange gurgling noises, like a drowning swamp monster. I shrugged it off. Maybe he was just having a rough morning too. I filled the water tank, scooped in my favorite dark roast, and pressed the brew button. The gurgling intensified. Then came a low hum, a vibration that rattled the mugs on the shelf. I leaned in closer, squinting at the machine. "What's wrong, buddy?" I muttered. That's when I noticed it. A tiny wisp of smoke was curling out from the side. Now, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure coffee machines aren't supposed to smoke. My first thought? Oh, great. The one day I desperately need coffee, and the machine decides to take up vaping. I thought about unplugging it, but my pre-caffeinated brain was operating at dial-up speed. The logical part of me was still booting up. Instead, I just stood there, mesmerized by the strange spectacle. The humming grew louder, the vibrations more violent. The whole machine started to shake on the counter. It was like watching a science experiment go horribly wrong. The little red on light flickered erratically, like a tiny disco ball at the world's worst party. I took a step back, a feeling of genuine concern finally breaking through my morning haze. This wasn't just a malfunction, this was a declaration of war. My coffee machine was having a full-blown meltdown, and then it happened. With a sound that can only be described as a cough, a sneeze, and a small explosion all rolled into one, the top of the coffee machine blew clean off. It shot into the air, hit the ceiling, and clattered back down onto the floor. It was immediately followed by a volcanic eruption of scalding hot water, coffee grounds, and steam. My entire kitchen was instantly transformed into a sauna-themed disaster zone. Hot, gritty brown liquid sprayed everywhere, on the walls, the cabinets, the ceiling, and most unfortunately, on me. I yelped and jumped back, now fully awake. Forget caffeine, there's nothing like a geyser of near-boiling coffee to get your heart racing. I stood there in shock, dripping with what used to be my morning brew. The kitchen looked like a modern art installation titled Espresso Raj. Brown streaks ran down the white cabinets. Coffee grounds covered the floor like a gritty, aromatic carpet. The air was thick with the smell of burnt plastic and aggressively strong coffee. My poor coffee machine, Old Faithful, was now just old and not faithful. He was a smoking, mangled wreck, his inner workings exposed to the world. A single sad drop of coffee water trickled down his side like a tear for his former glory. I had to laugh. It was either that or cry, and laughing seemed like the more productive option. My quest for a simple cup of coffee had ended in complete and utter chaos. My cat Mittens, who had been sleeping peacefully on a chair, was now sitting bolt upright, looking at the scene with wide, accusatory eyes. His expression clearly said, "This is your fault, you and your strange bean water rituals." He gave a disdainful flick of his tail and stalked out of the room, probably to go write a bad review on Yelp for Humans Catastrophic Kitchen Services. I couldn't blame him. I surveyed the damage. My favorite white t-shirt was now a trendy tie-dye of brown and beige. My hair was wet and probably smelled like a Starbucks that had been struck by lightning. This was, without a doubt, the most dramatic start to a week I had ever experienced. The cleanup process was an adventure in itself. It involved a mop, about a dozen towels, and a lot of questioning my life choices. As I wiped coffee grounds from places I didn't even know coffee grounds could reach, I had a revelation. I was mopping the ceiling. I repeat, I was on a step stool, mopping my kitchen ceiling. If you had told me yesterday that this would be my Monday morning activity, I would have laughed in your face. Yet, there I was. Every swipe of the mop released another puff of coffee-scented steam. It was an immersive, multi-sensory experience of failure. My whole apartment smelled like a poorly maintained cafe. After an hour of scrubbing, the kitchen was less of a disaster. It was still a mess, but a manageable one. I finally got to the fallen hero, Old Faithful. I picked up the pieces, feeling a strange sense of mourning. He had served me well. We'd had some good times, but his time had come, in the most spectacular fashion possible. I held a small funeral for him by the trash can. I said a few words. You were a good machine. You brought joy and energy to my mornings. May you find peace in the great appliance landfill in the sky. It felt like the right thing to do. Then I carefully placed his remains into a garbage bag. Rest in peace, old friend. Defeated, decaffeinated, and still slightly damp, I finally gave up on making coffee at home. I got dressed, in a clean, coffee-free shirt this time, and walked to the corner cafe. As I ordered my latte, the barista asked, "Rough morning?" I just looked at her, and a slow smile spread across my face. "You have no idea," I said. I took my first sip of that beautiful, professionally made, non-explosive coffee. It was the best cup of coffee I had ever tasted in my entire life. It was a taste of victory, a taste of survival. It was the taste of a Monday that I would never ever forget. Sometimes the universe has to literally blow up your plans to get you to appreciate the simple things, like a coffee that doesn't try to redecorate your kitchen. So what's the moral of the story? Maybe it's to listen to your appliances when they sound like they're auditioning for a horror movie. Or maybe it's that some Mondays are just destined for chaos. Either way, it's a story I'll be telling for years to come. I might even frame a coffee-stained piece of the ceiling as a memento. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you before your first cup of coffee? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories of morning mishaps. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed my tale of caffeinated catastrophe, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to It's Funny to Tears for more stories. See you next time.